You know, this is what I normally ask
I'm
people.
sorry. And
It gets worse because someone did mention that if it's not just that, then it also means that Superman becomes a simp for Lois Lane because you can tell across the
not a simp per se, but his emotional attachments. Like you know where in Man of Steel, his dad talks about finding your rock or something like that, and he's made Lois Lane his rock. And
his whole down foundation
on her. It's problematic.
And it's not even still reinforced, but it's made of sand because it is small.
Which is all of this, you know, the subtlety of feminist empowerment in all of these movies where now, you know, it's fat. There's a lot. Look, 2020 has been a long ass year. Like, I got stuff on my chest that I want to discuss.
Do you have that scene in your head?
It makes no sense.
The scene he's talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
There's one scene he's talking about.
In which movie?
The Justice League.
The Zack Snyder?
Yeah, the Snyder cuts. There's one scene he's talking about.
I have a feeling it is Wonder Woman taking a pause to talk to the princess.
No. Wait.
What?
Was it? The schoolgirl.
Yeah,
that's the one.
What do you call her princess?
It really didn't stick that deeply inside my head. It was just like, why is this here?
You know, let's go back to so BVS came to much disputes about whether it was a good movie. It's one of the more extremely
divisive.
Yeah, divisive superhero movies. I am in the camp that totally loves it. I felt like it set up a very interesting.
Did you totally love it?
I'm literally in the middle. There are some things of it I enjoy.
You know what? Let me say in just a few minutes why I loved BVS. I'm not a huge fan of many Marvel movies. Do they do epic stuff?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of many Marvel movies. Do they do epic stuff? Yes, they do. They are very fantastic at weaving a certain tale and paying off certain plot threads that have come from different movies, and that is fantastic. I love the fact that one man, Kevin Feige, shout outs to you, can be sitting at one place and then weave such an intricate story and a studio.
Really shout out Stanley, but what's this one man, Kevin Feige?
No, like in the sense that in this conversation, we would have to discuss Warner Brothers' role in this entire debacle.
Okay, fair.
And that's what I'm saying. Kevin Feige under Disney has been capable of doing all of this, building all of this.
Technically, he wasn't under Disney, right? The Disney purchase happened.
Yeah, but it's still Disney's money. Disney gets a say in everything they do. But
even before the thing was officially bought, the Marvel franchise was.
No.
This is my point, right? When did Marvel get acquired by Disney?
It wasn't.
It was early.
It was early. It was
before.
Like 20.
It was before.
It was before.
So I think it was before.
No, it wasn't before. But it was definitely before Iron Man.
I think
before
so.
Iron Man. It was before Iron Man.
No wait, Iron Man is a Paramount picture movie.
2008. There was no acquisition. Disney hadn't fixed their shit in 2008.
I mean, listen, Iron Man 1 is a Paramount movie.
Let's find out because the Disney acquisition did not happen.
2009. So it was just.
Are you serious?
Yeah, 2009. So that's when Disney.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I think that's what affected the tone of the movies moving forward because Iron Man 1 is one of the more hardcore. Marvel movies.
Wow,
It was actually very
I didn't
hardcore.
know that.
It was, and after that acquisition, you can see the Disney softening.
Softening up. But yeah, like I was saying, I don't really because my issue with Marvel is that we don't really see the repercussions. We don't see it, and here's the thing: we don't see the repercussions from the point of view of those experiencing it.
Tangent.
Yes,
they're fixing that.
With Wonder, yes, exactly.
Vision.
I will give you that. They are
that.
fixing that with Wonder Vision, although quite questionably because I still believe Wanda is a villain in that story.
No, she's actually so you see, we'll have to come up with this agenda.
Yeah.
The agenda is playing a huge role in this, right? Because with Wonder Vision, she goes from like, to like.
I'll have to skip
I'm
gonna have to skip that part of the conversation.
We are not going to talk about it.
No, we're not going to talk about it. I'm just saying, like, there's a general trend towards, like, okay, what is she? Like, I feel like after you go past episode 3 of WandaVision, you start to, like, wait, what's...
After you struggle through...
After you struggle, yeah, it is a struggle.
Yes,
like,
it
is.
I mean,
let's not get
it's a struggle
distracted.
in the sense that when you come to see it, you're like, this is supposed to be a Marvel flick. But if you love nostalgia and stuff like that, you'll be cool. I was okay, but it was still a struggle.
I just, for me, I just thought the writers must have had so much fun
putting this together.
Yes, because it was like essentially going through different generations of television.
Which was
Right.
really. I love the way the aspect ratios were switching up.
Bro.
This is becoming a Wonder Vision review, but yeah. So I love BVS because it answers. It felt like Zack Snyder sat next to Christopher Nolan and they had a conversation about, which is true because Christopher Nolan is the executive producer.
Yeah.
So he was supposed to be the Kevin Feige of this DC. That's a conversation we'll have it later. But we see the repercussions. We see that yes, you're a superpowered alien being. You tried to save Metropolis, but the property damage, the lives lost. In a world here today, you would have to answer for those questions. For those things, you'd have to answer. And that's one of the things I love about BVS because as much as it was a superhero flick, it was also a socio-political story, which was touching on morality in the sense that where his mom, when he goes to ask his mom that what should he do, he was like, be their hero or don't. Like you get to choose.
You decide,
Yeah. So that's why I love BVS.
So again, you loved it because you saw more aspects to the layer character that he was, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like Batman had the same number of layers?
Yes, because I was interested in what I liked about Batman is that we saw that his trauma from the childhood had increased. That he got into a place where it's obvious he's lost so many people. He tells Alfred in the movie, it was like, we've lost so many of, how many more good guys are there? How many of them stayed good? So you can tell that he's been through a lot to the point where he's constantly having nightmares of his parents' death. And every time he wakes up, the last thing he hears is the last words his dad says, which is Martha. Which is why the Martha scene for me is great. Because it was a thing that it made me feel like Zack Snyder really reads the comics. Because I always read the comics and it never came to me that, Bruce and Clark's mothers share affairs. Something that I'd never. And if we think, this is a question to the both of you. Per the context of the story that we got in BVS, what was a better way to save Superman from being stabbed by Batman?
Save my mother.
That's it. I'm glad you said
I have
this.
a mother.
I am glad you said this. Now,
or heck, have them weep and then just say, "Mother, I'm sorry," or something.
here's the thing. Here's the reason why it wouldn't work. Now, saying "save my mother" to someone who's about to kill you, those are your last words. Effectively, Superman is about to be run through by a spear of destiny, a green spear of destiny. He's about to be killed. Jesus Christ, R.I.P. Pretty much. But here's the thing. If he told Batman, "save my mother," and Batman runs him through, Batman now has to go through the trouble of figuring out his real identity, then finding his mother, then going to save his mother. She would be dead by then. But saying "save Martha" reduces how much time he needs to spend to do that search.
Actually, that's even before you even get there. The lead up to that fight, when your man is like, "I have to talk to you. I have to tell you something."
I think that was pride. Because Superman could have tanked all those hits and still had a conversation with Bruce. And he chose not to because Bruce slapped him with sound waves and some
This is
stuff.
where your story is falling apart, right?
Yeah.
Because then there's so many other avenues that we could have gone down.
But a story is a dramatization of events.
Yeah, but
The fight had to happen.
first of all, nobody says save Martha. Who's Martha?
That's the point. But as opposed to saying, "save my
So
mother."
what's is it the name that's the trigger or the fact that that's his mom?
The name was a trigger.
Yeah, so Martha
it was a double
But the thing is, it's a trigger he didn't know was going to pay off. And I'm lying down. I'm about to be stabbed through. Winston is about to stab me too, and I was like, "Please save Cecilia."
Do you know
Cecilia?
Do you know why this is fantastic?
And save Auntie
Do you know why this conversation is coming from you? Because Forsen and I had this argument, and the exact same thing you are saying is the exact same things he said. Forsen, you'll be watching the exact same thing.
Actually, Forsen, more to the point. Like, if the two of us are going to the thing, and I'm standing over here about to stab you, and when you get somebody to save you.
Now let me explain.
And your mom standing. Have you ever mentioned your mom's first name in front of me? And I've known you for how many years?
No, but here's the reason why it works. Like I said, it reduces the time where Superman thought those were his last words. So he was being selfless. One,
They
keeping
don't
his.
make sense as last words.
They do because
You see, and this is where DC has the problem. DC doesn't know how to clinch lines. They don't make sense as
It
last
does.
words. Who's Martha?
exactly that's exactly what Bruce asked. And keep in mind, Bruce is a person who is going through.
So, okay, I have a question, random question.
Mhm.
You think if he had said save Cecilia,
He would have died.
have said who's
No.
Cecilia?
Superman would be dead. Superman would be
I think
dead.
it's a very complex.
I don't be there thinking like
This is
which one my
exactly
mom-
the thing I
which
was
one my mom
saying.
I
thinks
think
like
it's
it.
very complex.
Like it's
It is-
Sarah or
it
like it's
is-
Cecilia.
It is a convenience that has been established in comic law for yonks now.
But it's unnecessary. It's the stakes.
The co- you know what? If we get stuck on this controversy,
Yeah,
we'll be here for
so
another 30
let's
minutes.
move on.
the stakes were too high to say Martha.
Same thing Fortune was saying. It's very
The
interesting.
stakes were too high.
Okay.
Stakes honestly too high.
Moving on. So, the divisive movie, as you can see.
That's from local movie. Honestly, they say man. But your mommy.
No one piece.
You know,
I mean,
let's continue. So, divisive movie, as you can see right here.